Hey there, welcome back to another review for the Stallone Marathon, and this time it is Stop, or my mom will shoot. I think people are expecting this to be a rant, but it's not a rant. Because I've never hated the film ever since I saw this when I was a kid. I don't think it's one of Sly's best. I would not put it in the top 10 or anything of his movies. I would not even say it's his best comedy. I think Oscar is a genuinely funny movie. But I know it's considered one of the worst films of all time. It's considered Stallone's worst movie, and I'm thinking, if you think this is one of the worst movies of all time, have you seen The Star Crystal, where a fucking alien kills people and then reads an electronic Bible because of Jehovah's Witness? Have you seen Crazy Fat Ethel movies? And have you seen Feeders and Feeders 2, or The Night Brings Charlie, or fucking... Have you seen these kind of movies? Have you seen trauma movies? Any trauma movie? They're all a lot worse than this movie. Have you seen those American Pie sequels? Especially Beta House and all those direct-to-video shit? Or Disaster Movie, or Epic Movie, or Vampire Suck, or Meet the Spartans, and Meet the Fartans, and whatever the fuck else they're called? They're a lot worse than this. I would not even say this is one of Sly's worst. I would not put this in a top 10 worst. Because I'm thinking, have you seen Spy Kids 3? Have you seen Driven? Have you seen Avenging Angelo? I think at the end of the day, this is a harmless time waster. It was a bad call for Sly to do because it was in 1992. This was around the time, I think the year before, Arnold had a giant film like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And he was back and he was doing huge box office. Then Sly was taking chances. Oscar, which did not do well, but I think is very funny, like I said in my review, and this film. And I get what Sly was going for here, for a very silly... The title itself says it's a very silly comedy, goofy comedy. Arnold had films like Kindergarten Cop, Twins, and granted, those are much better than this. Jingle All the Way I love with Arnold, and I would put that above this. But Arnold was trying to go for that kind of box office. I mean, even Ivan Reitman was one of the producers. It was directed by Roger Spottiswoode, who directed Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis, which I enjoy. Tomorrow Never Dies, which is one of my favorite James Bond films, actually. The Sixth Day, I believe, with Arnold. And it has its problems. It does, but at the end of the day, I thought it was a harmless time waster that I got some smirks out of. I liked Sly in the movie. I think Stallone is having fun. And I appreciate the fact he was trying to take the piss out of himself. He was trying to have fun with his image. He took a chance. And I thought Sly did fine. Jobeth Williams, who is his girlfriend but also his boss. Jobeth Williams from Poltergeist, I thought she was fine. Estelle Getty as the mom, I don't think she did a bad job. And even when I saw this as a kid, I never hated it. There's a couple moments that really do make me chuckle. Like the mom buying a MAC-10 machine gun and giving it as a present. I wanted it to be a surprise, and Sly goes, "It is!" Or when she accidentally cleans Sly's gun. So, what do you do? I mean, the paint's all gone. Is the smell? Man, if I try to shoot this, I'll blow my hand off. And then he takes the clip out and starts leaking all over the place. And again, it's a short film without the end credits. It's an hour. It's an hour and 27 minutes long, give or take. Without the end credits, it's an hour and 23 minutes long. So I thought it went by at a good pace. It's a quick movie. I thought Stallone was having fun in the stakeout. Ving Rhames makes an appearance at the beginning of the film, and there's this deal going down. He punches Ving Rhames. There's a little shootout. His partner gets shot, and Stallone's talking about how, first they're late, then they shot my partner in the ass. God, that pisses me off. It shoots the sign and fucks up some bad guys. And I think the idea of the film, I could kind of see it working. It's just it needed. The script I think needed some work because there's quite a few moments that it's there's quite a few scenes that could be made a lot funnier, and I think the script needed a few passes over it by Blake Snyder, William Osborne, and William Davies. So with that many people, there's probably some rewriting, and it kind of shows. Oh, another thing I liked, Alan Silvestri. I thought he did a good job on the score. Thought the score fit the film well. Very light, soft-spoken score. Those parts especially, I think, are the best parts of the music in the film. And it's one of those things where there's a part of you that can feel sorry for Stallone because it's all about the doting mother and treating you as if you're 5 years old, even though you're a grown adult. And I think anyone, well, not anyone, but quite a few people can relate to that. I think that's what they're going for as well. And I can see that, and gives me a few smirks as well. When Estelle Getty is treating Sly as if he's a little kid, he's trying to defend himself. Or when Estelle Getty forces him to eat breakfast. Mom, I'm not hungry, but I don't even like eggs. Well, if you don't eat it now, it's going to be here when lunchtime. And then he leaves, and then all he can eat later, drink later is a Pepto-Bismol. And his partner asks him, what do you get? What do you have for breakfast? Well, I had bacon, sausage, pancakes, Cocoa Puffs. It just keeps listing all this stuff. So I do think there's quite a few moments that did give me a chuckle. And I think there's also quite a couple of decent action bits. And particularly the ending where his mom is on the airplane with the bad guys and they're getting ready to take off. And Stallone revs up this vehicle. And some really good practical effects where he's bashing the wheel of the plane and the wheel of the plane tears off and it gets on fire, tears itself off. And then Sly pushes the truck, drives the truck right into the propeller, and the propeller fucks up the entire motor, and it also fucks up the plane as well. And you see the propeller going right into the vehicle as it's driving up, and I think that's a really good practical effect that they did there. Nowadays, that would just be crappy CGI, but I appreciate that. And again, I kind of like the idea of this, Stallone, who I enjoy as an actor as well as an action star, and this doting mother that embarrasses him all the time, because I can see that being relatable to quite a few people. Like what he's trying to do his mom at the airport, and these people come in and start laughing at Sly. That's because she was showing all these pictures and telling stories about him, and there's a jumper, and he's trying to talk him down, and then the mom gets on the bullhorn. And Sly, I think that's a reason why I like the film, because I liked Sly in the movie. I think Stallone gives a fun, earnest performance. Like, I don't think he's sleepwalking. I don't think he's bad. I think he does a fun job as a guy who's just sort of henpecked by his own mom. And he's like, Mom, God damn it! And then even the jumper's like, hey, listen to your mom. And then Sly goes, hey, butt out. So I like that. I mean, being a fan of Sly, it was nice to see him let loose and have fun and have a smile on his face and not be... I love him as action roles, but it was nice to see a guy I liked let loose and have fun. And I think that's part of the charm that the film has for me. Again, it's not outright hilarious. There's quite a few moments that feel sitcom type, Although I did grow with sitcoms like Home Improvement, so I enjoy those shows. But there's a few that is like, it doesn't work the best. Like the villain isn't much that you can remember about it. Also, I did not need to see the nightmare scene where Sly's in a diaper. And then Stouty's, oh, Mom's got to change your diaper. I didn't need to see that nightmare scene. I think that could have been taken out. That could have been cut out. That I thought was just more embarrassing for Sly than funny. But I could come on here and yell about it because everyone else fucking does, but I'd be lying. I don't think it's fantastic, or great, but I don't think it's that bad either. I think it's a harmless time waster that goes by very quick. It's a short film. It has a score that fits the film well. Estelle Getty, I know some people found that she was annoying. I thought she did fine as the mom. I thought she wasn't irritated at all. There's a few lines that don't work, like "Let's go get those turkeys." You know, just that awkward lines. Like I said, I think the script needed a few more passes with it, and maybe a few really strong action beats, a few more. Like the car, the him driving the vehicle into the plane and the propeller, the plane's really good. But maybe some fairly solid action scenes mixed in. And you can get away with it. I mean, it's PG-13, so there's other stuff you can get away with it. Maybe some fisticuffs or something of that nature. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I like the scene where she cleans his gun. You ruined it. Him getting embarrassed, he's trying to take a shower, and she walks in on him. And again, there's sort of that relatability of, you hear a lot about people who have the doting mother and won't leave you alone. And I think people won't admit it, but they have had that experience one time or another. And they see the breakfast scene, which I enjoy. And the plot is she visits. Sly doesn't want her to visit. She wants to buy another gun for him since she accidentally ruined his pistol. So she buys his Mac 10 machine gun from back of a van, and she witnesses a shooting, so she has to stay there because now she's a witness to a murder. Let's say I like the present that he does with the machine gun. I wanted to be a surprise. It is. And I thought there's a couple little decent scenes of drama, like when Estelle Getty's talking about Jobeth Williams, and Estelle Getty's talking about how Sly's character didn't cry when his dad died, and how she couldn't do anything, but Sly helped her out with everything and never cried, and maybe even to this day he's never cried. You do a little, see, some action bits, you do a little foot chase, a little bit of cartridge with Estelle Getty driving. Nothing much to run home about, very typical. But there's also a few lines of dialogue from Estelle Getty I like. You have the asshole cop detective trying to fuck with Sly, and she goes, "But my son and I think you're an asshole." And then Sly smiles and pats his mom on the shoulder. Or when the asshole detective starts talking about his mom, Sly picks him up and gives him a fucking swirly. I liked that. Or even the line where when they confront the bad guy and she goes, "I'll be back." And Sly's like, "Come on, what are you doing? Cops say that." "No, cops don't say that. Terminators say that." So I liked that a little bit. You get to a little scene where bad guys they're in this warehouse and bad guys use this wrecking ball to try to kill them with. And you have the title of the movie in there. And I chuckled at it because it's so goofy and so silly that I did chuckle. Like when Sly's talking to the bad guy, he goes, "Stop, or my mom will shoot." Just the way Sly delivered it. I mean, it is a silly, goofy as hell movie. The title is. It's not like you look at the title and you go, "Oh my God, I am shocked at how silly it is. How dare you?" But yeah, an improved script, some more memorable set pieces of action scenes, maybe a villain, like a capable character actor or even known actor as a villain. I think they could have helped matters, but and the Sly romance with Jobeth Williams is not the strongest. But both actors I think do fine. Again, I think just the script needed another few passes. But it's one of those films I watch and I'm like, wow, the movie moves at a decent pace, and I don't mind Stallone and Estelle Getty's dialogue with each other. It looked like they have a bit of fun filming the movie with each other. The score I think fit the film well, especially the lighter moments. And even the ending of the film gave me a smirk, where he's taking her to the airport. She's like, "Stop him, stop him. I saw him on like America's Most Wanted or something." And Sly stops the guy. "I know what he did. He shot his mother." And then Sly has this funny look on his face, like, and I just, in a weird way, I like that Sly's having fun and taking the piss out of himself. And I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing the best of explaining it, but I just never hated the film, and I know 99% will disagree with me, and that's fine. But I can't say it's horrible. I'm sorry. I've seen so many worse movies than this. It's a harmless time waster. I didn't see any fucking fart jokes or blowjob jokes like fucking Grudge Match, where Robert De Niro's doing sit-ups and farts in his son's face, or the grandson, "What's a BJ? Oh, it's butterscotch jelly beans." Ugh. Or Sly putting his hands in something that the other guy says is horse piss. Grudge Match, I think, is way worse. It's not fucking shit like Bachelor Party 2 and all these other fucking movies that are a dime a dozen that go direct to video that I've seen. Or why do you see Bachelor Party 2? Well, because I saw Bachelor Party 1 and I didn't mind it. Saw Bachelor Party 2 is a huge piece of shit. I mean, you give me a year, you give me IMDb, I could find you hundreds of movies that are way worse. Hundreds of comedies are way worse than this. At least Stallone, I think, does a good job. I think Estelle Getty does fine. Like, you know how an old woman would overdo this? Betty White. Some movies she can do okay, but some movies she does really over the top to the point of annoying. I think that Estelle Getty does better than, say, Betty White. And some of the stuff she's in certain movies. I think Estelle Getty did fine. And in Jobeth Williams, I don't think she was bad. I forget the actor's name, but it's like there's one guy who's in this biker suit. He's one of the guys who sells the guns out of the van. I've seen him in other films, but I can't remember his name. He's got a beard on him. I liked him. And there's another guy who's one of the bad guys. I think one of them is the lawyer from, not the main bad guy, but some of the subordinates. One is the lawyer from Jurassic Park. And then the other has been a lot of Ernest movies, a lot of the early Ernest P. Worrell films, a la Ernest Saves Christmas or Ernest Goes to Jail. I think his name was like Sartain. He was also in Steven Seagal's The Patriot. And yeah, I had to look it up, but there's stuff on Wikipedia that, and IMDb anyone could find out. But yeah, this has a couple little features, has a little 5 minute of making of from back in the day, and it has an alternate ending, which is pretty much the scene at the end with the airport where the mom goes, "Oh, stop that guy. Oh, I know what he did. He shot his mother." None of that's in it. It's still at the air. It's still at the what do you call it? After he's fucked up the plane with the vehicle, and then his mom shoots the bad guy. Sly gets put in an ambulance and he starts stumbling about wanting to marry Jobeth Williams. He's like, no, don't take him away. He's about ready to say he's gonna marry me. And her and Estelle Getty get an ambulance, they ride off. It was pretty lame. I like the one in the theatrical more. But overall, I don't hate the movie. I'm sorry. Sure, people expect a rant. It's not a rant. I've seen worse Sly movies. I'd rather watch this than Rebel. I'd rather watch this than fucking the Avenging Angelo or Spy Kids 3 or Expendables 3. Yes. Because you're going expecting a movie called this. Expendables 3 should be better. Fucking Wesley Snipes, Harrison Ford. And it's not. It's over 2 hours of bullshit. Even this was like 40 minutes shorter than that. Anyway, again, I know I'm repeating myself. I think it's a harmless time waster. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later.